arranging an assortment of offering, breaking quantity, holding stock, and the final one is extending services. So arranging assortment. An assortment is a retailer's selection of merchandise, includes both depth and breadth of products carried. As you all know that when you go for shopping at the street corner shop, understand, you will be asking various kinds of articles. You will be asking for toothbrush, you will be asking for pen, you will be asking for toothpaste, different kinds of what to call other things. So under assortment, what happens based upon the business activities what are going to take place regularly in that particular shop, the retail owner, isn't it, going to have certain items combination in terms of particular depth and as well as the breadth, isn't it? Depth and breadth is nothing but what the varieties in the product, quality of the products, understand, based upon the need of the customers of that particular locality. Because whenever a customer comes for the want of a product, he should satisfy by looking at the product and what you called, when he actually gets the product whatever he wanted. If the availability of the product is not there, immediately he will be searching for other alternatives. That's why assorting is going to be a very, very important activity. So what do you mean assortment here? An assortment is a retailer's selection of merchandise, includes both depth and breadth. Depth in the sense the same product varieties. Breadth means different what you called companies which offer same kind of products. The assortments must include substitutable items of multiple brands, stock keeping units, and as well as what are the price points. So every assortment should have what you called multiple brands. Let us take toothbrushes itself. You will find what you call from the Colgate toothbrushes are there, Ajay toothbrushes are there, isn't it? From various brands, what you call, we are going to find their respective toothbrushes in the market. And also SKU stands for stock keeping units, isn't it? So few kinds of things should be kept for the future purpose. And as well as this varied price, isn't it? So these things are going to be what you call attractive to the customer whenever visits the outlet. Small retailer takes assortment decision on the basis of his experience, whereas organized retailing decision on a detailed study of past trends and future projections. As you all know that in India, small players are there in the retail business and as well as big players are there. Like Reliance is there, a Big Bazaar is there, isn't it? So these people varies as far as what you call stock assortment decisions are concerned. Generally, a small shop owner, how is going to maintain the assortment? By daily observing the sales of the products. Summer season is there. For the summer season, few kinds of product sales would be there, like beverages. Same winter season would be there. Accordingly, few kinds of sales would be there, like what you call Vaseline would be there. Okay, coffee would be there. Tea powders would be there. It's all based upon the experience he is going to maintain that particular level of the stock. But whereas big organized retailing what you call outlets are there, like Food World is there, okay, Reliance, supermarkets are there, big bazaars are there. How they are going to maintain this assortment? They analyze the data. So business analytics is there, which is one of the very, very valuable courses as far as the upcoming generation is concerned. In the business analytics, what they do, they actually analyze the data. Exclusively here, what kind of data they analyze? regularly for a month, for 3 months, for quarterly, yearly, isn't it? The data will be analyzed. Based upon that, they try to maintain that particular product types in the outlet. So product mix be based on profitability, store image, layout and level of compatibility between the existing and merchandise. When assortment kind of things are going to take place, one has to keep in mind the store image. You will be observing few shops will be there. So by outwardly they may not be what you called looking attractive with a what you call glittering kind of illumination. Still you will be wandering by what you call getting information from your father, grandfather or else elders. Immediately you will be finding whatever things you want. Everywhere those kinds of shops are there. These owners, running these shops since generations together. So what you call it, the store image. So keeping the image of the shop, customers will visit that particular shop. So while maintaining this product mix, that is a very, very important point to be considered. And also level of compatibility, and the product mix should be compared with already in-house merchandise. So all these things are going to be taking place when you are understanding about what to call the activities of the retailing management. What is the first one? Arranging assortment. Very, very important activity. What do you mean assortment? An assortment is a retailer selection of merchandise, includes both depth and breadth of products carried. Thousands of products have been manufacturing. Different manufacturers are there. Will it be possible for any retailer to keep all varieties of the products? No. Only few of the products based upon the quality, based upon the brand name, based upon the what to call the business, I mean to say sales. Few hand-picked products only they will maintain. What to call that? The assortment, in simple words. The second and third activities. What is that? Breaking the bulk, and third one holding the stock. Let us discuss about the breaking the bulk. So breaking bulk means physical repackaging of the products by retailers in small unit sizes according to customers' convenience and stocking requirements. So when a retailer goes and purchases the products from the wholesaler or else directly from the company, they will going to send the product in terms of what we call huge in size. Huge stacks will be there, huge packages would be there, isn't it? So those things will be broken into what we call small units according to the needs of the customers. Again they will repackage that, and they will sell the same items in terms of smaller units. What we call that? The breaking bulk. So retailer normally receive large quantities of sacks and cases of merchandise from suppliers to reduce their transportation cost. It's a very simple logical answer here. Unit wise, if the producers or the manufacturers or the suppliers want to supply the items, means the transportation cost will increase. Hence what they supply the items in terms of sacks and as well as cases of merchandise. So that will be what you call broke into different smaller what you call items. This function receives negligible attention from the retailers. Generally breaking the bulk, this is a very, very important activity. But as far the current research is concerned, the retailers will not show much more interest about what you call this breaking bulk kind of activity. The next one is the holding the stock, the third one. Holding the stock information is in the blue color. So maintain appropriate levels of inventory for regular availability of their offerings. So how much stock should be hold? Whatever produced, the entire thing will not be possible to what you called hold within the that limited premises. Understand? So very carefully, according to the business, according to the needs of that local people, isn't it? The stocks will be maintained. So what do you mean by that? Maintain appropriate levels of inventory for regular availability of their offerings. Customers depend on the retailers directly to replenish their stocks at home. One cannot purchase toothbrushes for entire a year or else 2 years. The customer cannot purchase what you call a rice bag for an entire decade itself. So whenever necessary arises, then only he will go and purchase whatever amount is required according to his or her budget. So that means for every replenishment, here the word replenishment means replacing with the what you called a new item. So the replenishment activity purely depends on what you call the retailer. When they go and ask for any kind of wanted thing that is not available, they look for other alternatives. They will go to other shops. Isn't it? That's why holding the stock a very important activity. Retailers need to maintain equilibrium between the range or variety carried and the sales which it gives rise to. So retailers should have that appropriate stock which should create equilibrium among the variety of the stocks, and as well as the stock, the items which are all there in the stock should give more sales also. Too little stock will hamper the sales volume variance. Too much stock will increase the retailer's cost of operation also. So too little bit stock maintained, by that also the business cannot be grabbed. So sometimes frequently if a product sold, let us assume that after a week few other customers comes, if the product is not available, they will disappoint. Same way, maintaining only one kind of items in huge stocks also will not fetch good what you call kind of business. Because if customers are not available to purchase your products, investment is going to be wasted. Hence, there should be a balance between what you call the sales, I mean to say the demand as well as the volume of the products. Okay. Next, extending the services. Retailers offer credit, home delivery, after sales services and information regarding new products. Besides the activities which we were discussed above, the present day retailer is giving what to call is extending his services in these areas. What is it? The first one, the credit. Based on the credit also the business is going to be taking place. The purchased items, they are what to call the retailers going to appoint special personnel, isn't it? On personal, obligacy, they are going to send the goods to the what to call the direct home to what to call directly customers' homes, isn't it? And also, if any customer asks for what you called information regarding any kind of product or services, they are providing regarding that. So what you call these falls under extending services. And also they are keeping a stock of all these items, stocking place, isn't it? So these are the some of the very important activities generally performed by retailers. Okay. Now we discuss actually what are the drivers which gets us success in the retail sector. I mean to say, what are the things should be learned to get success in the retail business? Okay, customers are the driving force in change. Customers are the driving force in change. Re-evaluating the marketing plan. Advanced education for retailers is critical for growth. Strong visual recognition. The workplace challenge. Planning for success. So these are the few of the things which actually drives for any person who wants to get into what to call retail sector to get success. Understand? Let us discuss one by one all these things. The first one is the customers are the driving force in change. Entire retailing business is purely depends on what to call the customer attitude, the customer behavior, how the customer going to satisfy. Any retailer, if he or she able to satisfy the customers, that's it. The business is going to picks up. Okay. So such a way, if you think, what is the present society? What are the changes are going to be there in the present society? Nowadays, what is happening? Both the couples are going to earn. Both are going to be working couple. Both wife and husband are working nowadays. That is two income families. Busy schedules and less time to shop. Retailers must offer more convenience than ever before. This is the biggest challenge in front of the retailers. Previously, if you take, generally one person used to earn, remaining other persons need to depend on him, generally father, understand? So at that time, people used to have leisure time. But nowadays, what is happening? Because of what you called, quality of life has been increased, expenditures have been increased. So if you need to lead a good life, a satisfactory life, means now what is happening, both wife and husband are working. So because of that, what is happening, both of them are becoming so busy, they are not finding time to shop, to purchase items, to reach to to visit a store. So according to the situation, the present retailers, what they are doing, they are chalking out so many plans to satisfy these kinds of customers. The best thing is delivering the goods at their homes only, just by a phone call, by a email message, by a WhatsApp message, isn't it? Excellent customer service of 21st century is allowing customer to shop when it is convenient to them. You will be observing early in the morning, late to the night, isn't it? Few shops are going to be opened because few busiest people like this will have the time in those unexpected duration itself. See, now to give an opportunity to such kind of busy people also, what they are doing, the retailers are doing. So they are available, their shops are available, the shops are going to be open according to their convenience. So this will be assumed as the current century, the latest century is the biggest asset. Today's customer look for more options in shopping, in number, size and variety, shows more demanding and less forgiving. See, the present customer became ruthless, understand? So he wants to have more satisfaction when he visit a shop. He wants to check for more alternatives. He wants to go for more comparison. He wants to have the products for cheaper price. The thing, if it is not satisfied by him, immediately is going to withdraw his decision making. Strictly speaking, the retailers, tendency of doing business became very, very difficult nowadays. the customer is going to have a bigger ground to play. Hence, in order to satisfy the customers in such a toughest marketing situations, a retailer need to be very, very careful. Blend options like shopping, eating, playing into the retail equation. As you all know that many of them in the weekends they are resorting for shopping and as well as to have what you called an environment where they can have what you call the stress bursting kind of situation. So you will be finding few kinds of areas. Forum Mall is there, understand? If you come to what you called few areas of Hyderabad, you will be finding so many big malls which provides you. In Orbit Mall, best example, in IT corridor, they provide every kind of facility whatever wants by the customer. Shopping facilities would be there, for food lovers restaurants would be there, for other kind of entertainments all the facilities would be there. So when such is the way business is happened, growth would be there. So what you call that, the blend options like shopping, eating, playing into the retail equation. Retailers must increase their sales staff and allow them to personalize relations with the customers by spending more time listening to the customers, understand their needs. So what is that last point? Retailers must encourage their sales staff and allow them to personalize relations with the customers by spending more time listening to the customers, understand their needs. So most of the time the success in the retail business is going to happen whenever sales staff is going to showcase that extra skills in order to attract the customers to purchase in their particular stalls or else what you call the outlets. So for that, what is required? The retail owners should encourage the sales staff in order to listen to the customers, in order to zero in actually what the customers are wanted by. So by doing this, what will the customers are going to give the preferences, and based upon that the retailers are going to be successful in satisfying the customers. So these are all falls under what you call the first one. What you call this? The customers are the driving force in change. The second one, the marketing plan, re-evaluating. Advertising prices are continuing to rise. As you all know that lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees need to spend by the manufacturers for reaching to the minds of the customers through the advertisements. Print medias are there, visual medias are there. Huge allocation of funds are required. But will all these are going to be successful? No guarantee. The present day, modern day mantra is nothing but strong public relations. So when a customer comes to the shop, carefully listening to his what you call queries, according to that answering him, satisfying him, really creates an impression. So that is going to be spread outside. So what you call the strong public relations campaign. As far as expenditure is concerned, more cheaper, but more effective. So strong public relations campaign has become a more effective way to get customer attention for many retailers rather than spending crores of rupees for advertisement. So advanced education for retailer is critical for growth. So advanced education means nothing what to call it's pursuing getting degrees, isn't it? Observing the current trends. So every time changes would be there. Change is the inevitable. By looking at the customers, their needs, understand, their changes automatically one can identify their problems. If you are able to identify their problems, that's all. The business is going to be grow. So regarding that, what are the things to be required? So attending seminars, meeting other retailers and learning from both will add to the competitive edge that retailers must have today. So seminars will be taking place, isn't it? So, and what you call group meetings of what you call the peers sometimes going to be taking place. By attending, by discussing with them, the retailers are going to have more updated information. If that updated information implemented in their businesses, they are going to have the success. Understand? Possibility of future growth is due to attending focused retail seminars and workshops to be aware of the latest marketing trends and skills, new business strategies within the changing industry. So these are the few skills continuously every retailer mandatorily need to develop. Otherwise, it's very difficult to settle in the retail sector. So what you call that advanced education for retailers is critical for growth. So strong visual recognition. Next one. 70 to 80% of the buying decisions in mass retail today are made at the point of purchase. Though big hoardings are there on the four corners of the roads, isn't it? Big advertisements would be there. But the impact through these kinds of advertisement is going to be very, very less comparatively whenever a customer reaches to the shop. At the counter, whatever he sees, immediately he is going to make a decision to purchase those things. So what is that percentage? 70 to 80%. In a matter of seconds, prospective customers begin to scrutinize every detail of business from retailers' business cards, displays, employees, or directly through their website. So visually, a kind of impression should be created whenever customer enters into the shop, like through the displays, through the employees' behavior, dress code. If they are having their own website, how they are updating that website regularly, colors have been used, latest information about the products, isn't it? So these things are going to be more effective as far as the customers are concerned. After all, a business image is always perceptible. The workplace challenge. The information technology and other high-paying professions lure applicants who would have taken retail position. Present day, if you take, there are so many options are there for job aspirants, which can pay huge salaries, like information technology is there, other professions are there. So from all these luring professions, how to attract the person who wants to settle down in the retailing sector is a very, very difficult task. Then how actually retailers are countering this kind of problem? So they are giving convenient timings to the workers, employees, flexible hours. And also sometimes to have a good team, to have a good employee, they pay more also. Understand? Regularly, manager and sales staff meetings are necessary to build a strong relationship. This is one more challenging activity. Regularly, meetings should be taking place. Meetings should taken up. Otherwise, the employees will be unaware of the mindset of higher authorities, and they will not be in a position to share their ideas also. When that platform is there, when regularly both the parties come face on, they face on each other, isn't it? Then discussions will take place. then the employees also become more interested, and they will be what you call showcasing, you know, they will be in a position to put forth extra efforts also for the development of the business. Final point, the retailer should accept inputs from their employees and encourage them to have independent thinking. As a business owner, as a retailer, the best thing to have admiration from the employees is nothing but one should listen to their opinions, and one should encourage them that their suggestions also will be considered. If that kind of environment is created, automatically the employees are going to stick, not only in retail sector, wherever, whatever may be that organization. So what to call this, here we came to know a few difficulties as far as the retail sector is concerned, the workplace challenge. Okay, the next one is planning for success. To survive in retailing, one must begin to plan for the evolution shifts in the industry. Remember that just like any other sector, the retailing is also always will be changing, dynamic in nature. So one should have that strong mindset to face any kind of evolution shifts in the industry. Strategic planning, which is a combination of strategic thinking and long range planning, is key to planning for success. So appropriate strategic planning, a long term plan should be what you call available in order to counter such kind of problems if at all arises. Strategic planning can become a blueprint for the future growth. A good appropriately planned strategic plan going to be a blueprint for the success. So increase focus on marketing approach and also help to build a support team of employees. So a good strategic plan can become a blueprint. Blueprint means every minute detail will be there how to develop. Generally, where do you find the blueprint? You find the blueprint with the hands of civil engineers. So before constructing what you call a big building, a plan will be there on the paper, how to construct that building. What are the sizes, what are the columns, and what are the different kinds of things should be involved, doors, windows, every bit information will be available in the blueprint. Just like that, a appropriately planned strategic plan is going to be a blueprint and also useful to build a support team of what employees, and as well as focuses in a marketing approach. So I stop here. By this, the first unit has been completed. In the next class, we start unit 2 in the retail management. Okay. Thank you so much.